There are other sports that involve a great deal of collision that we don't think about. Think about runners. Every time a runner brings down their foot against the concrete, they are putting as much as 3 to 4 times their weight, 3 to 4 G's, on their leg bones. That sends a great deal of force up through the shin bone, causes shin splints, causes knee damage. What can we do to protect runners' feet? Well, there have been some very interesting products developed. Let me show you with this baseball bat. Now, if I take this baseball bat and hit it against the table, I almost make a dent in this very, very sturdy table. So I wouldn't really want to put my hand down and slam the bat against it. That would hurt. And although I have health insurance, I really don't want to test it that much. But let me show you what I can do. I can hold this disc in my hand, now hit my hand just as hard as I was hitting that table, and although I can feel the hit, there is absolutely no pain at all. This disc is made of a substance called sorbothane. It's thick, it's flexible, but its real beauty lies in the fact that it absorbs about 95% of any force that hits it. Sorbothane is a material that is very similar to these super balls that I'm going to show you. We all know that super balls bounce very high. There's one bounces very nicely. But another super ball that is made of the same material, just a different molecular arrangement, you'll notice doesn't bounce at all. When I drop this ball, all of the energy of that fall is completely absorbed by the ball. That's because this material has a tremendous amount of internal friction. The molecules of which it is composed have so much friction between themselves that any outside force or any motion from falling is completely absorbed in the friction of the molecules themselves. This substance that I showed you with the baseball bat, called sorbothane, has the same chemical properties. The molecules of this substance have so much internal friction that when something hits it, the force of that hit now is completely taken up in the friction of the molecules themselves, in the internal friction, and very little gets passed on through. What does this have to do with running? Runners' shoes are now lined with substances very similar to sorbothane. In fact, you can even buy sorbothane insoles for running shoes. Think about how running shoes are constructed. They have insoles of sorbothane or another material that absorbs a great deal of the force. The soles of the shoes themselves are constructed of similar materials, plus many shoes are built with air pockets inside. Again, all of this is designed to absorb the force so that when the foot hits the pavement, the force then is absorbed by either internal friction or by spreading out the time, so that by the time the force gets into the foot, ankle, and shins, it is so greatly reduced that there are now not the dangers that there were before of shin splints and knee damage. Talk about knee damage, think about how football shoes are constructed. Football shoes are constructed with cleats on the bottom so that they get a really good grip on the turf or on the grass surface. But this also causes a knee problem. When football players get hit, think about how the knee works. The knee works very well and is made to be movable from front to back. The knee does not move well from side to side. And so if a football player gets hit in the back of the knee, it's not as damaging as if someone comes along and hits a player in the side of the knee. The side doesn't move well. So you get a lot of knee injury simply from being hit in the side of the knee. You get pulled tendons, you get pulled ligaments, because your knee is not flexible in that direction. Football shoes for some time now have been made with several features. They've either been made with breakaway cleats so that when an impact occurs to the side, the cleat actually breaks away from the surface of the ground. Or, in this case, it is made with cleats in the center, but just a type of padding along the side. You can see the cleats are almost like spikes, but these pads are quite a bit flatter. What happens here is the cleats grip the ground, but if a side impact occurs, these flat portions then easily move away from the turf. So you don't have a whole surface of cleats digging into the turf and causing that tremendous amount of force. So you can see that the laws of physics keep us safe even in the games we play.